for my next bounce back pick. We'll stay on the top of the alphabet, and we will go to the Fighting Hugh Freezes in Auburn. Listen, I get it. I get.
Oh man,
it's an interesting situation. Will we? Can you avoid the self-sabotage that sort of ended what was a very promising run at Ole Miss? But at the end of the day, when you look at this Auburn program, right, I do believe in the weight of a situation like last year. The hot seat is one thing. I think sometimes teams can rally around that. But Harsin really took it to another level, and you saw that in the offseason. When it's every time the next loss, the coach might be out. That's very different than I think, your coach is on the hot seat. Everybody kind of knew, hey, we're counting down the days to a midseason firing. I think that weighs on a team. And I think some of the locker room stuff that spawned a lot of the reasons for Brian Harsin getting sideways with the power brokers at Auburn, I think some of that stuff was real. And then obviously the recruiting aspect, I think above all, is the biggest issue. But Auburn is still talented. I think people don't realize, Sam, this is still a team inside the blue chip ratio, number 16. Okay, a lot of questions, certainly. I'm not a huge fan of what they have at QB with Robbie Ashford and Peyton Thorne from Michigan State. But you still have Jarquez Hunter. You got the number 4 transfer class in the country. Jair Shorter, Shane Hooks, I think could be a nice 1-2 at receiver. They throw Caleb Burton in there from Ohio State late. You add Justin Rogers from Kentucky, Demario Tolan from LSU, linebacker, Gunnar Britton. They pick up a Western Kentucky guy moving up. Listen, talent isn't a cure-all, but talent does win out more often than not. And I just think ultimately, when you think about the upgraded talent that they've had, you sort of lift the weight off the program. I think the ceiling for Auburn is kind of low, but I think going from 5 wins to like 8, maybe you sniff 9. I don't know. You're fortunate you don't have a Penn State this year that's going to beat you up at the start of the season. But Auburn, I see definitely some upside there to be finishing a little bit higher in the West than maybe people believe.
Yeah, I tell you what, I mean, the talent level is good. I mean, look, Auburn recruits at a high level. There's no doubt about that. And Hugh's experience in the SEC and track record, I think certainly there's a lot of other issues there, but from a pure football standpoint, I mean, the guy is a good football coach, and they were, like I said, this is a guy that was able to beat Alabama when he was at Ole Miss. He was able to lead them to a 10-win season. Every stop that he's been at, Arkansas State, Ole Miss, and Liberty, he's recorded a 10-win season. And I think there's something to be said for that. So I do think there is some potential there for this team, and just because of where they are and the way they can recruit, the level of talent they have, I don't think there's a lot of question in his actual football acumen, and I think there's definitely a lot of potential there for the Tigers.
And hey, now that you can sort of, it's much easier to draw in recruits with paychecks. That's not illegal. Say what you want about Hugh Freeze, but the talent level and the recruiting assessments. Greg Little, NFL player. AJ Brown, All Pro. DK Metcalf. A guy that speaks for himself, obviously. The Kimdiche, Robert Kimdiche. You add him in there. Who am I forgetting? I'm forgetting a couple big ones. I'm forgetting a few other guys from that Ole Miss class. But ultimately, he had a lot of success with transfers, or built up Malik Willis. We'll see if he can do that. Producer Cam, Laramie Tunsil is the one I'm forgetting. I think he was. I don't know where he actually ended up being drafted after the draft night fiasco. What was it?
The gas mask. Remember the gas mask?
It was a 1-2 punch. It was the gas mask and then the yes, I got paid.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Which I don't think he was breaking a lot of news, but yeah, man, maybe don't say that on draft night. I don't even remember these circumstances. Kansas City dropped the 13th overall. If I recall, he was generally accepted as like a top 5 pick, right? Either way,
top 10 certainly, yeah.
Yeah, regardless, clearly a huge talent. You're still making a ton of money in the NFL. So Hugh Freeze, I think people underrate they overrate, can you get this guy, and underrate the evaluation, fit, development. That's how you actually make hay in the league. You got to get guys, but if you can identify and then get them and then develop them and use them, I mean, there's not a lot of guys that are more proven than Hugh Freeze. So this is why I really thought, listen, there's a million reasons to not do it. if you're Auburn, but when you do it, I sort of get it because this is a results business, and Auburn I think can get some results, and I think they can do it pretty quickly under Hugh Freeze.